This is a real pretty hot pink plant they call Joseph's coat. And that particular one they nicknamed Party Time.
Why party? Why party time?
I don't know that whatever nursery named it, that's what the name he gave it.
Interesting.
And these calatheas have very pretty leaves too.
Oh, that looks like plastic.
Yeah, any day of the year you come, it looks exactly the same. It's been here 3 years. And that'll grow as a house plant or porch plant too, very, very easily.
Did you lose any bamboo during the hurricane?
No, I blew the leaves off of it and left just the stems, and then they sprouted out.
Yeah, that's what happened to my yard.
And there's some white birds up there.
Oh, bird of paradise?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got those.
Now this stand of bamboo isn't as thick, but it gets 50 feet plus.
What made you plant bamboo?
Oh, I love it.
You do?
Yeah, I like the noise they make too. Of course, there's not much wind today. Now you see over here, there's no weeds anywhere, and that's because of all the bamboo mulch.
That's what I got.
I got like 6 inches deep of bamboo leaves. I haven't had to mulch this part of the garden in 5 years.
Do you have your own? Do you make your own compost?
I used to, but I can get it now, so I don't have to.
All right. No grass whatsoever.
No, 4.5 acres and no grass, and also no weeds. Now starting in here, you'll start to see the carambolas on the trees.
And like you said, you have 30 varieties of carambola.
Well, no, 18.
Oh, 18.
I got 31 trees. This one, this fwang tongue, is a real good one. A real unusual tree at Unbelievable Acres is the African sausage tree, native to tropical Africa, grows to 60 feet or larger, and has great big sausages weighing up to 30 pounds that hang on finger-sized stalks from the top of the tree. The tree has beautiful wine red flowers that open at night and are pollinated by bats and moths. And the flowers don't even last 24 hours. They open at sundown. By noon the next day, they're on the ground. The sausages hang on the tree for about 15 months before they ripen, and you can't eat them. They're just filled with seeds, so you can use them for propagation. Many times there may be up to 10 sausages on one single stalk, so you can imagine the weight that those stems hold.
Where did you purchase most of your plants at?
Everywhere.
It's
I don't, any nursery that, when I'm traveling around the state, I always stop in and check it out if I have time. And so I've gathered stuff from around it, but many of these things I started myself.
Now, if I'm a garden enthusiast, so any garden enthusiast can have an acreage like this and start it. There's no special thing you ever did?
No, since I started from scratch and I built this from zero, that means anyone can do it.
Okay.
Now the African baobab, that's our biggest tree so far as the trunk. And that was the size of a number 2 pencil when it was planted. The guy that donated it, he brought it out here in a quart oil can, about 10 inches tall. And that's been there about 38 years now.
Does that retain water, the large trunk?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
And that vine that's on it is a monstera, they call shingle vine.
Oh, that produces a fruit.
And up high is the adult leaves. First 2 years, they're real little and they lay flat. Then it says enough of this, and they go up and make big leaves. Now these ponytails, when they were planted about 35 years ago, they were the size of grapefruits. So they've puffed out from grapefruit size to this big in 35 years.
Do you have pictures of any of this stuff?
I've got tens of thousands of slides, but the old 35 millimeter. I don't have digital stuff.
Unbelievable.
Now here's some purple fire spike, and even in the heavy shade, see, it still blooms. And the butterflies and hummingbirds love it. Now here's some monstera fruit that are about 3 months away from being ripe. And monstera fruit is from Mexico. Looks like a shucked ear of corn or an old-fashioned microphone. And these take 1 year to get ripe, and they have a flavor like a combination of banana and pineapple. And they sell for $10 to $14 a piece in the markets.
How do you eat them?
You just wait till it gets ripe and that skin falls off, and you just eat the white pulp that's underneath.
You don't have to cook them or nothing like that?
The chefs that use them, they just sprinkle it over salads and whatever, because it's little individual kernels.
Is this a Brazilian dwarf or the Brazilian tall?
That's a tall. I've got the dwarf ones. I've got 50 kinds of banana. Now here's another bird's nest anthurium with really pretty leaves. You see how wide the leaves are on this one.
Do any animals use it for like shade or anything like that, or cover, or?
Well, probably lizards get on the underside when they have a storm, get protection.
Right. Wow.
Now look at how big the monstera leaves when they're going up a coconut.
Now those monstera, what does it produce fruit on top or just on the bottom?
Oh, up and down the whole length.
Is that right? So
yeah.
You can't get up.
Well, no, they fall down when they're ripe. So you'd have to root around in the brush there for them.
Okay. Wow.
No, as soon as they get ripe, they release, and then they're on the ground. They're the base of the tree it's growing on or whatever. Now we have a lot of spice trees in the garden. This is one of our bay rums.
They use it for cooking, right?
Well, yeah. Well, you can make tea out of it too.
Okay. It's from the. It reminds me of my allspice tree.
Yeah, it's a close cousin.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they're both very close. They're closely related. I've got 5 allspice trees, and I've got 3 bay rum, and I got a lemon bay rum too.
How big do the bay rums get?
Oh, these will get 30, 40 feet if I let it, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep it small.
Yeah.
But when we give our pension, we call them our pension sniff tours. See, we'll pick one leaf and then pass it down the row of people. And the cinnamon the same way. The cinnamon, the leaves smell like cinnamon. The bark is what you eat, but you can smell it in the leaves.
Wow.
So we have a lot of, and with the school classes, see, they go crazy. And if I don't watch them, they'd strip the plant bare, wanting to take one home to their parents, you know.
Oh, check this out.
That's a bay rum.
He's like a goat. She eats like.
Makes a good tea.
Does it really?
Yeah, I had one of my board of directors.
Is it all right to eat it like that?
Yeah, I had one of the board of directors. He was a teacher.
Really
he was a teacher, and he would take allspice and bay rum, and he made tea almost every day in his classroom because he loved it.
Yeah, because a lot of these.
Yeah. Right. I'll tell you, get them from the back side there. Yeah, just reach around behind it. Now this plant with the little orange flowers is just starting to bloom, and about a month from now, this whole area will be a wall of orange flowers, and it'll stay that way all the way to the end of the summer. And it's called Justicia, and the butterflies and hummingbirds love it. It's got a lot of nectar. And it's just now starting to come into bloom.
This is Gene Joyner's Unbelievable Acres, and let me tell you, it's one interesting tour. It's got all varieties of plants and fruit trees for all different types of discriminating gardening. So if you're interested in seeing all different varieties, I suggest you come here. Thanks, and enjoy Alfred's Gardening World.